Joe, to say good morning to Kim. You've got kind of a heads up for us.
Yeah, good morning. Beautiful sunny day. But of course, when that happens, when we don't have rain to flush out the atmosphere, we do accumulate a little ground level ozone. So if you have had a scratchy throat over the weekend, you're not feeling your best, you do want to limit your time outdoors. This is for Harris, Brazoria, and Galveston County, and the ozone tends to peak between 4 and 7, just as a heads up. 80 degrees right now out the door, very similar to how yesterday morning started. There's a little humidity out there, so there is a little difference between the air temperature and what it actually feels like. It feels like 84 degrees, wind is nice and calm. Throughout the afternoon, under a clear sky, you know the deal, those temperatures are going to get pretty toasty. So I think we're just under the century mark for today with a high of 99 degrees, but you'll notice no rain to worry about. That changes tomorrow. We'll start off with a couple of coastal showers, and then that rain moves inland. So look for a couple of storms peaking in the afternoon tomorrow between 2 and 6 o'clock. The rain chance for tomorrow, 50%. We're going to match that again on Wednesday. There's actually a boundary that's coming in, and that's what's going to organize some of those showers, but it will bring down temperatures into the mid-90s. In addition to our local rain, I'm tracking some rain in the tropics. I'll have those details in a few minutes. Jen, how's traffic this morning?
All right, nice and calm.
Nothing to say to that. He's like, oh, I'm fine here. That was a good one.
Shut down.
Great sense of
Actions speak
humor.
louder than words.
Yes, certainly in this case. Yeah.
I love a little friendly competition.
That's right.
Fun.
And nothing better than, putting your money where your mouth is. You're like, oh yeah, you don't think I can do it? Watch this.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's right.
Our forecast is really nice. Out. Rain returns for tomorrow, and the tropics remain active, so I will update you on all of the above. Here's a snapshot of the rain potential over the next 5 days. So yes, a very, very small chance, 10%, that there's a stray shower along the coast, but that's it. Most of us staying dry, so that's why I'm calling it a dry day. Tomorrow, a 50-50 chance to see these storms that develop along the coastline pushing inland. And then the same thing for our Wednesday, a 50-50 chance for storms to pop up mainly for the afternoon. And then we continue to stay unsettled through the end of the week. Their typical have an additional 4 inches of rain this time of year. Now, if you're concerned about the drought monitor, I just checked it and we're fine. We're completely good. That threshold is a safe zone. Now, the front that's going to start to move in by tomorrow is going to not only spark up some rain chances, but also going to drop some temperatures. So check out highs for Texas today, mid to upper 90s. Then as that front gets closer to us, highs for tomorrow drop significantly, low 90s for North Texas. H-Town could max out in the 80s with some rain-cooled air in the afternoon. And whether or not we see the rain-cooled air in your neighborhood, you'll at least be enjoying the low 90s for the afternoons to come. So a general colder trend for the remainder of the month and into the start of September for a huge chunk of the country, with the exception of the West Coast and South Texas. It's still pretty hot. So if you were headed to South Texas for Labor Day weekend, you know what to expect. Lather up that sunscreen because it is going to be pretty warm. Tropical update, because that's something that we monitor this time of year, especially if you are planning any vacations. This is what we're tracking right now. Fernand, which is a tropical storm, and a great update this morning is that cluster of storms that we were watching moving from the Lesser and Greater Antilles into the Caribbean has now only a 10% chance for development. We'll start with Fernand first. It's packing winds at 50 miles an hour, moving to the north-northeast at 12. It's got some decent organization, but look at the convective field. It's pretty displaced out ahead of it. So for that reason, we're not expecting any intensification of Fernand. Notice that through this afternoon into tomorrow, it's actually going to start to weaken, becoming a remnant low, and it's a fish storm. So that's great. Now the low with that 10% chance also weakening significantly, and even if it holds together enough composure to bring some showers, it's going to be tracking towards Central America. So if you had a vacation planned to, say, Honduras, that's going to be something to monitor even into this coming weekend. 7-day forecast looks like this. So today is a hot day. We get close to the century mark. And then again, as that front moves in, notice high temperatures start to drop a little bit. I think in between the showers, showers, though, we do manage to get to the mid-90s, but you will get some brief relief from all the way through the weekend, Jen. So yes, anybody that's grilling this weekend is going to have to be flexible. We know the deal. You're grilling, then you have to go inside for a second and then let the storms pass.
Yeah, you just let it simmer on that grill.
Ooh,
All right.
I like what you
Hey, a rain-free day for the most part, right?
Oh yeah, it's all about the heat, and good thing people's homes, thanks to our neighborhood weather network, so I can get to the granular level street view of what the heat is doing right now. So Sunset Boulevard at Westview, 78 degrees, a little bit warmer for Sackett Street and Montrose. If we get up towards the Heights, Queenswood Lane, mild, 75 degrees to start off this morning, but those temps are going to be quickly rising. As you'll notice, the sky is going to be mostly clear, so already low 90s by the time you're having lunch, and then we get up to 99 degrees at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think that is your high temperature today. Rain chances are going to go up, so tomorrow into Wednesday, at least a 50% chance for some downpours. Notice today a 10% chance. What does that look like? Like that little speck that you see right there. So I'm tracking just a couple of offshore showers at this point. There's a small chance that this little piece of energy starts moving in closer towards the island, closer towards Brazoria. So Harris, Brazoria, and Galveston are usually areas that are prone to a little excess ozone. That's not the healthiest air to breathe. So if you're part of the sensitive groups, like you have asthma or any respiratory issues, even if you have a cold, you don't want to be outside huffing and puffing. So if that's you, maybe you skip that outdoor run today, Jen.
Yeah, it's a good heads up. I mean, because I know some are more sensitive than others,
Exactly.
and they feel like we're saying this one's the highest, this one's one of the highest. I'm like, man, how high are they getting?
They keep getting higher. And your chances of winning don't change.
Lower.
But chances of a good forecast. Actually, this week you said it's going to be cool.
I did.
Relatively
Yeah.
speaking.
I know. I was like, well, yeah, a little cooler.
Well,
I don't want to. Not what I said. I want to start with the tropics, though, because there is a really good update waking up Monday morning that we're seeing a drop in the potential for that cluster of storms that could have been something that we might be concerned with to now just 10%. So the organization here is really dropping off. And even though it is continuing to track towards the west, it is going to really peter out. So I think it'll die here in the Caribbean. If there's any moisture left over, it'll bring a couple of showers to Central America. So if you're planning to go to Honduras or maybe go to Costa Rica, El Salvador, places like that might get some showers by the end of the week. And it's good to keep up with that stuff because, hey, it's Labor Day weekend, so lots of us are planning to travel for the holiday. Tropical Storm Ferdinand looks like this. So it's got some convection, some organization, but notice a lot of the outer convection is pretty far displaced from the center of circulation. So because of that, it's not intensifying. Winds are at 50 miles an hour. It's tracking to the northeast at 12, so it's a fish storm, and it's actually expected to drop down in intensity as we go into the middle of the week to just a remnant low. So that's also a nice update to wake up to. 80 degrees is what we're waking up to temperature-wise. It feels like 84 outside. Wind is nice and calm, but it is going to get pretty toasty this afternoon. We're going to have a bright, beautiful, sunny sky, so it'll be nice in terms of going about your day without having to worry about downpours. And moms, if you're getting the kids ready for school today, I'll make your job a little bit easier. Pick a white shirt because that reflects 80% of the sunlight, and it can actually keep your kiddo 20 degrees cooler as opposed to a black shirt that really absorbs that heat. You could do without an umbrella. It's only a 10% chance for a scattered shower today, and that's for the coast. All in all, it's just your run-of-the-mill summer thunderstorm chances. So tomorrow morning, this is a snapshot at 8:30. So we start off with coastal showers, and then eventually that sea breeze starts to meet up with a front that's going to be incoming, and that is going to fire off some storms right along the I-10 corridor. So this is going to be impacting Harris County. It's going to be impacting the North Freeway, the Katy Freeway. So most of us have a chance for some good, decent downpours from Tuesday and really beyond. So this is what Jacob was talking about, the quote-unquote cooler weather. Low to mid-90s thanks to that rain cooled air. But when it does rain, at least our temperatures drop to the 80s momentarily. So there is a little relief that we get instantaneously from the showers. Notice for Labor Day, we will be tracking some downpours through Saturday and Sunday too, Jen.
All right, well.
Off with a lot of heat, but the rain is back in the forecast starting tomorrow. I'll show you what to expect, when to have your umbrella handy.
Kim Castro with a look at how your first day is going to look. Kim.
Beautiful. I mean, an early start to the day, but it's mild temperature-wise. We're actually 1 degree cooler now than where we were yesterday. We're at 78 degrees, and the humidity is starting to drop. It is not going to be that really sticky day this afternoon. Actually, I think we're going to push past 99 degrees today. I might have to change that to at least 100. Tomorrow and Wednesday, that's when we start to see the return of shower activity, and that will start to knock temperatures down ever so slightly. So to get you ready for the incoming rain, this is what it's going to look like. So isolated shower chances in the morning, mainly along the coastline. It's in the afternoon that sea breeze starts to move in. We get a couple disturbances from the north, and both of those clashing lead to afternoon downpours right in the heart of the city. So that's for tomorrow, Jen. For today, let's ease into the week. What do you say?
On for it. Hey, nice and slow, Kim.
Yeah.
And Kim Castro now to explain, Kim, the heat wave over there is impacting the firefighting efforts.
Yeah, this afternoon particularly, because temperatures in California for the Napa area, not going to be an issue. Upper 70s to low 80s, they're not dealing with wind. The relative humidity is okay. Oregon, however, very different. They've got every weather variable working against them. High heat, strong winds gusting at 50 miles an hour, low relative humidity, plus they've got a threat for thunderstorms this afternoon, which means lightning, and that would lead to rapid wildfire starts. So there are a number of red flag warnings, fire warnings, extreme heat warnings, and heat advisories for Oregon into Washington. And yes, that portion of central California is mainly for the Fresno area, which is south of where those Napa fires are. So luckily Napa not under those red flag or heat warnings today. We have heat of our own, by the way, which I'll talk about when I see you back here for the full 7-day forecast.
Striped swimsuit.
Look at his cute little gator arms.
Oh, isn't
They're
it
cute when they're little.
Yeah, I know.
He liked the little
Yeah.
kiddie play area, it looks like.
They need to cool
All
off
right.
too.
How cute is the forecast?
Actually pretty cute today.
it?
Well then, most of us are winning today. Jacob, did you say you like it too?
Nope.
Okay, well, 3 against 1. We like the heat, and we're going to be seeing it today. We are not going to be seeing too much by way of rain chances. So Jacob's pick of the week is probably going to come in tomorrow into Wednesday when we get some rain cooled air, and the storm chances start to pop up too. Okay, 78 degrees right now. Feels like 80. At Hobby, it's 79, and it feels like 82. Whoa, Conroe, upper 60s. I'm going to have to check how far back we have to go to get the 60s, because that's thanks to drier air, by the way, that's moving in today. That is going to keep our mornings a little bit more mild, but it is going to make our afternoons pretty toasty. So by the time you're having lunch today, you're already in the 90s, and I think we could actually get really close to the triple digits, if not exceed that today. So because we have a lot of sunshine out there, just like any normal day, the sun reacts with ground level ozone. And so it's not the best breathing air when we have clear skies. It just creates a little bit more of that bad air quality. So I suspect we go into that orange zone, unhealthy for sensitive groups, between 4 and 7 today. So that's your time frame to maybe limit the amount of time that you spend outside. But there's that snapshot of the 10% chance for stray showers along the coast. Not a big deal. Tomorrow into Wednesday, we start off with coastal showers, but they move into the city center, so that's going to be impacting quite a few of us. We hold on to a storm chance even into the weekend. So this is the snapshot tomorrow morning at 8:30, so you can already plan ahead for this. Maybe give yourself extra time if you're commuting along Matagorda, Brazoria, into Galveston and even Chambers County. I think the slowdowns for Harris County start happening after the lunch hour. By 2-3 o'clock, that's when you can expect some downpours. They are going to be tropical raindrops, which means that they're pretty heavy. When they come down, it is going to be a little bit messy outside, and you'll probably need the windshield wipers working properly. So if it was time to replace them, if you notice they're leaving streaks in your car, today's a good day to do that because you're not going to be battling the showers. Notice as the rain chances increase, those temperatures start to drop into the mid-90s for tomorrow and into Wednesday. Here's a quick tropical update for you. We are looking at 2 areas, but notice, thankfully, the spot that was moving into the Caribbean, now only a 10% chance for development, and really it's going to only be impacting Central America. So Honduras, Nicaragua, El Salvador, they could get some rain showers. Everywhere else is going to be in the clear, and Fernand is in the clear of land masses too, and it's actually weakening. So it's a tropical storm expected to become a remnant low by the middle of the week. Jen, the middle of the week is going to be pretty stormy for us, so carry your umbrella, you know, be mindful of the roads. You're going to be busy.
Yeah, oh no.
For grass pollen for today, I'm tracking low weeds and moderate mold spores, but it's a dry day, so I think mold's going to start to drop off. I'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Our weather outlook for today, Kim.
Yeah, today. So looking at the humidity map this afternoon drags in some drier air. Enjoy it, because by tomorrow that Gulf humidity is back and it's here to stay through our Wednesday, through our Thursday. It does get sticky after today. Gorgeous start to the day. My goodness, does not look like a perfect postcard drop shot of downtown, and then in the background a nice pink hue to start off the day. 78 degrees, that's our starting temperature. It only feels like 80, so there's only a 2-degree discrepancy between the air temperature and the feels like value with the dew points, the added moisture. That's going to start to drop off, which will allow the temperatures to keep climbing. So the high today right on the cusp of 100 degrees. Notice rain starts making a return in our forecast by Tuesday and Wednesday, and that will drop our temperatures into the mid-90s. This is what it's going to look like starting off tomorrow. We'll be tracking some coastal showers. That sea breeze moves into the city by noontime, and then by 3, I think that's when those heavy downpours are going to be most noticeable. They'll probably be on the loud side, bringing you some bursts of thunder out there. I've got an update in the tropics, Jen. I know this time of year for everybody to travel, I know you do. It's really important to keep tabs on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the numbers certainly flux.
Won't, and it's so important to monitor the proximity, because like we saw, even though there is no direct landfall in the continental U.S., there could be some pretty significant rainfall from those outer bands. Luckily, Fernand is actually taking that northerly turn even sooner, so it's not going to have impacts along the East Coast. It will have some outer bands though in Bermuda. Another update, we were monitoring this cluster of storms that was tracking west and potentially getting into a dodgy area in the Caribbean. I say dodgy because from there it could move to the Gulf. Luckily, this is going to fizzle out. I mean, it'll get rained out in Central America, close to Nicaragua, not becoming an issue for us. And again, Fernand is a fish storm at this point, so that's all good news. Our local rain chances, though, they will be going up, and I'll show you what's causing that when I see you back here for the full forecast.
Castro, how hot are we getting today?
Today, we're off with what the criteria is for us to limit our time outdoors. Well, now we know we want to limit our time outdoors if you want to stay nice and youthful, but you also want to limit your time outdoors when we have anything like a heat advisory or an excessive heat warning, because that can lead to some rapid health declines, like on the spot. I'm talking about heat exhaustion and a heat stroke. So for us here in Houston, because we're fairly used to heat, we got to get to that threshold of 108 for the heat index, the feels like value, for us to be under an advisory, and 113 for an excessive heat warning. Downtown, we get to 99. That's going to be right at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We are going to see a bright, clear, sunny sky. Only a 10% chance for a stray shower, and this is going to be along the coastline. Now, as rain chances start to increase for Tuesday and Wednesday, that's when we're going to start to see those temperatures scale back a little bit. So here's a snapshot, all of these details put together of what you can expect over the next 3 days. So if you're getting ready for the day, look up real quick and plan for this. Mostly hot today. You don't have to carry your umbrella. Tomorrow and Wednesday, do carry your umbrella and be careful on the road. Some quick downpours out there are definitely possible. Temperatures are going to get down to the mid-90s. So when can you expect the showers to roll in? Tomorrow morning, it's mainly an issue for the coastline, Matagorda, Brazoria into Galveston. Then as that sea breeze pushes up, the Gulf Freeway is going to be an issue right around lunchtime. And then by 3, those showers are in the Loop and the Beltway. So the rain chances go up. How about the chances for tropical development? I'm so happy to report that they're actually going down. That area that we were monitoring in the greater Antilles now dropped to a 10% chance of development from 30 that it was at yesterday. So that is a nice thing to wake up to. It is expected to continue to fizzle out as it tracks towards Central America, and Fernand also expected to fizzle out as we go into the middle of the week. Right now it's a tropical storm, 50-mile-an-hour winds tracking to the north-northeast at 12. So it's a fish storm. It's not going to have any land interaction, and by the time it's all said and done, it is going to be a remnant low. Right now, this is just an area of low pressure. Doesn't have organization, and it's not going to get any organization. As it goes to Honduras, that's where it's going to rain itself out. We're going to get rained out on Tuesday and Wednesday. Not a complete washout of a day for us tomorrow, but definitely one that you want to monitor radar, Jen, because once those showers start rolling in here, you've got to factor in your drive time going up a little bit. You know that all too well. I'll let you talk about that.
100%.
About the heat. Temperatures pushing close to the triple digits under mostly sunny skies. We've got an air quality alert beyond today, though. Don't forget your umbrella. Rain chances are back in the forecast. That's going to drop temperatures into the mid-90s. Jen?
All right.